Good Saturday morning. Good morning. And I love everybody right off the bat because that choice is my choice, and it's just nicer to love than to not love. So this morning I was reflecting on the present moment and decisions that we make that bring us to situations that we're in the moment of right now. And oh man, I should have done that, or I would have done this instead. And if I would have did that, I would have ended up there. But the reality is we are, or you are, or I am. I'll just speak as in first person so that I am just sharing my experience. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment right now, and there's only this moment right now. So if I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment, I can never be in the wrong spot or place, and which means I'm always in the right place at the right time all the time, because there's no other place to be than where I'm at, and I'm at where I choose to be. It's like I'm saying it like that because it's like a loop of what I think is common sense but hard to practice because of the conditioning of my upbringing. So if I am exactly where I'm supposed to be at all times in every moment, then there should be no resistance towards anything that comes my way, whether it be falling off a roof, getting run over by a car, getting an autographed baseball card, painting a beautiful painting. Any situation you find yourself in is the situation that you're supposed to be in. And when you don't give resistance to it, there's more of a flow, obviously. And yet again, I'm not speaking to everybody. This is just for people like myself who find themselves trying to escape some moments that there's no need for it. And it's because of what we tell ourselves and what situations mean based off of information we're fed. So the example I like to give is I fell from a roof, I broke my wrist, blew out my back. This is 6 years ago. And in that moment, it was the worst thing in the world because I had to let go of a second job and blah, 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 blah. But if I would have seen what was around the corner, I would have known that that moment was exactly perfect. So reflecting back on situations like that to see how one thing brought me to the other thing and I'm right where I'm supposed to be, it kind of negates any thought of wanting to escape the moment because you're right where you're supposed to be at all times perfectly. And I gotta start with the we. I like to think that it'll be better if I just had a little bit of this instead of that. But the fact of the matter is, if I was supposed to have a little bit more of something or a little bit less of something, then that's what I would have. So whatever I have now, wherever I'm at now, is where I'm supposed to be. So if I can let that go and just be in this moment, I'm being present to the moment. And, when you're present to the moment, that's where the magic is, because you're not paying attention to time, that concept of time. You're not paying attention to the past. You're not paying attention to a future. I like doing that, future, because there is no future. There's only now, because when the future gets here, it'll be the now moment. And I hear that, I used to hear that, and I used to say that, and I'm like, yeah, the now moment, everything's right now. And when I would stop and really, really pay attention to what I was saying to myself and put it into an experience, it made more sense. So if there's only right now, and right now is all that matters, where else should I be? Because if I'm not here, where am I? So I'm right here. I'm here right now in the studio because this is where I'm at. And that's perfect. And if I was to look at it like, oh man, I wish instead of being at the studio, I was home in bed, well then go home and go into bed. But I'm not, and I'm here, so I know this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm using a really vague example. Just being here instead of being at home. And I can take it onto a larger, more in-depth scale. I can't believe where I'm at in my life right now. I'm making this up. I don't have a job. I don't have a girlfriend. I have no money. My car's broken down. And I wish I wasn't in this situation. That's given resistance. And nobody wants to have those outcomes. But when we accept them, they'll change. And I challenge anybody to just practice a little different technique in your thinking and see the results for yourself. And if nothing changes, if you don't see miracles happening, then go back to panic and escaping, which you're never escaping. You're never escaping. You're always going to be in this moment with yourself. So we accept it. You know, I always talk about the bumper stickers and then what these terms mean. Like, you know, I always go, be all you can be, you know? Like they tell you in school, you can be anything you want to be. Just put your mind to it. But they never explain to you what that means and how to put your mind to it. It's my nose is running. It's real. Like if you put your mind to it, and it's not just your mind, but if you give thought to what you want to an extent of belief, well then think about it. You'll experience it. Your belief in, and I say I'm talking about myself. My belief that I was a addict for so many years because I was told I was an addict with addict behavior, and for me, that's who I was because that's who I told myself I was. The second I stopped telling myself I was an addict, all of a sudden I wasn't an addict anymore. I was just a human being having an experience that made choices that were actually the best choices I could make at that moment because I made those choices, and every one of those choices brought me to this present moment. My accident was a result of choices coming from an addict mentality because I told myself I was an addict, so I behaved like an addict, and I had examples of an addict lifestyle present, but there was nothing wrong with any of that. That's what I chose to experience in that moment, and all those experiences brought me to this moment, and this moment where I'm at right now, I wouldn't change because it's the perfect moment, because it's where I'm at. And now I'm an artist. Am I an artist because of my accident? Am I an artist because I'm an addict? No, I'm an artist because I'm telling myself I'm an artist. And all the choices I've made led me to situations that cultivated this experience. It's a little bit of, this is a really deep rabbit hole, and it's already a 9-minute video. If you want to know more, reach out to me. Or you can do the thing that everybody has the capability of doing. You can search this vast internet for all information that you may know, may not know, may have a thought of. It's there. And why not experience something different? If you want to experience something different, try different things, expand the mind. And, you know, I don't mean go do drugs. I mean, expand your way of thinking through science, through experience, maybe through some testimonies. I feel the need to share my experiences with this whole awakening because my life has changed dramatically. And I'm not talking about working maintenance and being a painter or an artist now. I'm talking about the amount of luggage I don't carry around anymore, the thought processes that I no longer have to go through to make a decision because of fear based off of a past that doesn't exist anymore and a future that will never get here. And it brings you back to this present moment, what I was talking about. Being present to the moment means a lot more than just saying, oh, I'm here and I'm present. So much more than that. This is a longer video, and I don't apologize. I love you all, and I don't know. If there's something you want to talk about, let me know, and if I know something about it, I'll share it. And if I don't, I'll have that experience so that I can share it, because I promise you, I've experienced, and I want to share. Happy Saturday.